welcome back. It's been a while since I have been on camera or been on the show. I think it's been a while.
Episode 53.
53.
Watch Cringe.
And so we're back, and we actually have a very special guest today. One of the Texas folks kind of starting some noise.
Been starting some noise
Been
for quite some
starting.
time, huh?
2015, actually.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that's when we started.
You want to
but-
introduce yourself?
Yeah. My name is Peter Cho, co-founder of Jack Mason Watches and designer / marketer. Do a lot of different things, but
There's a
Nice.
lot of
I'm glad you
different
said.
hats.
Yeah, I'm glad you said watches because it kind of sounds like a whiskey too.
Jack
Yeah, yeah.
Mason,
It sounds like a manly thing. to
Yeah.
own, right?
like
Yeah.
McConaughey's new brand. He has a new one.
McConaughey's. Oh, new.
No,
new
he has
one.
a new one. It's
I
like
don't know.
tequila.
oh, what? Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Maybe
They're,
get
they're
a-
all they're all doing tequilas.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe get a Jack Mason on his wrist.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, so I guess let's start with the wrist check, right? So how about you? You kick us off, bro.
I got a Doxa 5000T. Speaking about manly watches, this thing weighs like 10 pounds.
You also haven't worn that since you bought it till today.
Yeah. Well, no, I wore it way back in the day, but now it's coming back.
Uh-huh.
I
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. I like the
Oh
orange.
man, I'm not.
You're not a
Man,
fan?
I'm still wearing the same fucking watch. I think. Oh wait, no. Last time I was wearing a Grand Seiko. So I'm wearing the Starbucks.
okay.
I haven't taken this off pretty much.
No,
Again,
you have not.
it's just so easy for me to wear it, and like I have no reason to not wear it.
Yeah.
How about you, Peter? What you got on?
All right, I got something on that isn't out yet.
Oh.
Actually, yeah.
Ooh.
So
Can we show that or no? Probably.
yeah,
not.
I think we can.
I mean, we can. I
Just
mean, I don't
describe
know.
it. Yeah.
We can probably
We'll take a picture of
not
it.
really see it, but yeah, this is something that's coming out in early 2024. Taking a pivot from sport watches
To
and
dressier.
doing some dress watches.
So he
Very
walked
nice.
in, and I actually saw that, and I was like,
Mhm.
I don't think I know that model.
Yep. No, this is we're using Solita movement.
Oh, SW.
Yeah, going real classy with the hand wound movement.
Because you guys are more in the Miota.
Sporty.
We
Yeah.
are. We're in
Movements,
Miota, but you know, and I'm sure we'll get to it. But we are moving into more, just doing like a more hybrid situation.
Okay.
Doing some Japanese, but also Swiss if it's appropriate. So
Awesome.
yeah, dress watch.
That's
Awesome.
fucking
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
Actually,
So we're gonna break this up just in two parts.
parts.
One,
Mhm.
talk about the brand, and then talk about you.
Yeah.
the
as a
man.
person.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
man behind
The
the
man
brand.
behind the brand.
Sure.
So speaking of man,
Who is Jack
Jack Mason?
Mason?
Did you guys practice that?
Just like for an hour
yeah, a little bit.
in the mirror.
Look in the mirror.
Oh man.
So who is Jack Mason?
All right, Jack Mason is a real person. So we
Oh.
have one of the partners in the business. He is sort of our main investor, and you know, from the beginning, he wanted something to be named after his son's name, and his son's name is Jack Mason. And we went with the name because not necessarily because it was like, hey, this is if his son's name was like, you know, Frank, you know, Wilson,
yeah.
it'd be like, what is that? But like the name just really rung a bell, like in terms
Yeah.
of just like from a sense of being American. And that's what
It's
we want.
American as fuck.
Yeah. So that's what we wanted the brand to be, was super American. And we're like, hey, you know what? That's actually really easy to remember too. You know,
It is.
And so
It is, yeah.
yeah,
It sounds familiar. Like I feel
Yeah, like
I've
I've heard it
yeah.
yeah.
so long.
Yeah, exactly. And when we first launched the brand, I mean, the amount of people who were like, "Wait, I've heard of your watches." Like, we haven't even launched yet. We're like, "No." That just goes to show, you know, how familiar it sounds.
Yeah.
And so,
Good choice.
yeah, so that's where the name
That's cool.
comes from. Yeah,
And
Yeah.
you guys started in 2015, right?
2015.
Was
yeah.
that how? And that was just your investors' money. It wasn't like a Kickstarter thing.
It wasn't a Kickstarter thing. It was, it was so even prior to Jack Mason as you know it today, the business was actually under the Jack Mason brand name. There was a business of watches and other just kind of accessories.
We'll cover that too.
Yep, in the collegiate space. I'm sure.
Oh shit, he knew.
Oh,
Yeah.
he knows.
Yeah. And so that's where, and a couple of my other partners had actually started the business that way. And so that's how, but that was strategic to kind of get the word out there in the collegiate licensing space. And then eventually, like, use that captured audience to then
Pivot, right?
pivot into a more, higher end
Yeah,
brand.
that's the same thing that the government does, and still indoctrinate the youth. And then
That's exactly right.
They drop crack
Yeah.
in the impoverished neighborhoods.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's exactly right.
Christ.
So go
yeah.
ahead, Bren. Yeah, you have another one.
Do I? I thought it was okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I do. Yes, I'm the highlighted one. I'm pink. I forgot I'm pink.
I wrote the fucking script.
Yeah. So I'm pink. So the brand was once considered a fashion brand, and now you've shifted. And I'm gonna look because I don't remember the second part. Why the change and what prompted the shift?
Yeah. So the brand, yes, it was a fashion brand, and it was that because it was supposed to be. We wanted a real business. It wasn't like necessarily a passion project where we're like, hey, we can create some watches and like if we make money, great. If we don't, oh well, we tried.
No, you came
No,
in
it
with
was it was about like business, and so
Okay.
at that 2015 was the peak of
Daniel Wellington.
Daniel Wellington.
Movement.
Movement had even just
Movement was fresh,
just
right?
starting to start at that time. But the Fossil Group brands, we were
That's
talking
right.
about Michael Kors. I mean, there isn't a woman or even man who
Michelle.
insane. I actually worked on Michelle.
I know. Skagen too.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
exactly.
So-
So that's at that time we were like, okay, this is the business we know, and that was our experience, my experience, and so from the get go, it was let's start in that that
Space,
wholesale
yeah.
business. Let's try to get some carve out a little space in Nordstrom, and they were our first account.
Nordstrom was your first account. So
First
like,
account.
was that kind of process successful for y'all?
Very successful.
Very.
I
I
mean,
see.
yeah. I mean, it was. We, they say timing is everything, and in our case, it was definitely a huge part of why we even like got on the map. Was Nordstrom was our to be able to say
It's a pretty
Nordstrom was
big
our first
fucking
account
account.
is crazy,
That's a
right?
huge account.
And at that time, like we were saying, it was the height of fashion brands, and so they wanted something different other than a brand that was owned by Movado or Fossil. And so here comes this brand, Jack Mason.
Brand
They're
new.
like, holy crap. And then it was actually like really nicely designed product. And I mean, our first order was like $800,000. We were like, holy shit, this is legit. I mean, they put us in over almost 100 doors, which is unheard of for an unproven brand.
Yeah,
That's
for a
insane.
fresh brand.
Wow.
So
The only one I
But
can.
you guys had connections, right, to a lot of these retail.
yeah, and I think that's where
distribution.
yeah. So some of my partners were from sales backgrounds.
Mhm.
I came from the fossil world as well. So from a design product development standpoint, I had my supply chain connections and things like that. So it was a really good partnership from that standpoint. The connections of buyers. I mean, that's the biggest thing is like, I need a buyer contact. And so
Were you also selling online too at the same time, direct?
we had a
Yeah,
website.
direct to consumer.
We had a website, but it was like, I mean, we just had it and we put some product up there, but by no means was it like any sort of, we didn't put any emphasis on it.
I see.
And so when you fast forward to, when you get Nordstrom under your belt, then everybody else starts calling. So
Yeah,
we were in
suddenly.
Saks, Bloomingdale's, like all the, we never
What
went
the
into,
fuck?
Saks, we were in over 200 boutique like stores. We were in all the Stag locations.
Yeah, I remember you
know.
guys in Stags.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
on
Stags
South-
Provisions.
South, Congress here in Austin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great
I
men's
remember
store.
y'all there.
So there was a level of we wanted to keep it premium, so we never went into Macy's because they'll
No,
they'll
30% off.
because it's Tuesday.
You can stack.
you know.
You
So
can stack coupons.
The
on it in
Tuesday
Macy's,
special, dude.
yeah. So we never did that, and and then fast forward to 2020 was when we pulled out of all wholesale
That's
and went online only, our own website, and the
Yeah.
In when
20
COVID happened.
was crazy, man. Like we obviously nobody knew that was going to happen. we just made a decision, a company decision in January of 2020. We were like, hey, let's
Fuck
do
it, let's
this.
kill it.
And then 2 months later, boom,
Perfect.
the world changed. We're like, if we hadn't done that, would have been out of
You would have been
business.
killed. Yeah.
Would-
Yeah.
Like out of business for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
So you saw a successful move
Mhm.
towards the online sales?
Yeah,
right?
and for most e-commerce brands, well, maybe not most, but a lot of e-commerce brands, they thrived during
Oh, yeah.
during
Yeah.
COVID.
Like a lot
And
of
so-
micro
Yeah.
brands also
They hit
fucking
it off.
killed it.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Like Nodus was one of them, and I remember
Mhm.
like Weston Cullen fucking killed
Yeah.
it, dude.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah. So then 2020 we pivoted and went e-com only and really started just focusing on that. And honestly, the main reason why we did that was um, y- it's no secret that you do make more margin
Right.
going direct to consumer, but the biggest part of that is we're able to then take that and reinvest it
shit. Put it
into
back in.
the company to I wanted control of my brand. That was the biggest thing.
Mhm.
At the store level, you have no control. You have
Mhm.
zero control. I'm like, wait, we should be in a brand building phase right now, but we're just trying to capture sales. And that was just, we were going in a direction that I didn't believe in long
Mhm.
term. And so, it was a big move to,
And when did the decision to go, okay, we're a fashion brand, but
Yeah.
now we're gonna be
Yeah.
like the next step?
We're not.
Yeah. So we continue, even going on online only, we continue to be this more so catering to that fashion customer,
Mhm.
the masses.
So
But
did you like put in like a bottle of Axe body spray with every watch?
honestly, that would have been a great tactic.
You got to do like an Axe Four
Yeah.
Loco
Fuck,
like
the Four
collab,
Loco is crazy.
triple
Four-
collab, dude.
Jakar Noor.
Also,
Remember?
Fleshlight is an Austin-based company.
Yeah,
Okay, I had
we have
no
their
idea.
contact.
We do.
Collaboration.
We're waiting on a sponsorship from them. That's the only company.
Oh my god.
That and Four Loco.
But sorry, Peter, what you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
saying?
No, so we decided, we were continuing to cater to those customers. We were continuing to make good product for that customer. The thing is, since day one, I was designing the product. That customer did not either understand or care about the materials or the design choices that I made. It just went right past them. I mean, from day one, we were using sapphire crystals. We were doing I was using BGW9 that everybody goes crazy about
Really?
right now, in Nordstrom.
Really?
Yeah, because dude, I've been doing this my entire career, and so I know exactly how to. So I've been making that product, but nobody knew, right? Like it just went right past them, and so where we are today. Well, let me back up. Yeah, so we kept doing that, and then this is even I tell my team. There's always, when you look at some of the most successful brands or large companies out there, there's always a product or some sort of idea that literally transformed the company. So for Apple, it was like the iPhone,
Yeah.
and things like that. For us, it was that GMT movement,
Fucking time.
the
Yeah, the true
9075.
A true GMT. Yeah.
So this is where our experience came into play, because probably the entire industry were like, wait, what, Jack? How are they the first ones to have this movement? And it's because of my just connections that I had and relationships that I built this entire time. My guy from Miyota came to our office in Dallas and was like, hey, we just completely unexpected. We were just talking about other things, and he's like,
Really?
okay, I have this. We're about to launch, or we launched this new movement, and he takes out a sample, and it was the GMT. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, GMT.
We
There's
have
someone
this is
knocking.
a living room.
Oh,
Yeah, what's up, Dan?
Your iPhone. Basically.
yeah, exactly.
So the guy was in Dallas showcasing.
Showcase. He showed me he said, oh yeah, we have a new GMT. I was like, oh, that's cool, like a new GMT movement. And then he said, and he reiterated and was like, no, this is
a
Jump
new-
Hour GMT. And I was
True
like,
GMT.
what? And then so I looked at the
Traveler's
sample.
GMT? What?
Yeah, and I looked at it. I was like, holy shit, this is like game changing, literally game
Actually
changing,
game
right?
changer.
Yeah, game changer. And he's like, yeah, nobody. They had some European brands who had it. Obviously, Bulova being part of Citizen
Yeah.
had first rights to it. But other than that, he was
Outside
like,
of
you
that.
guys are pretty much the first ones. And
Fuck, dude.
yeah, so I was like, okay. Literally the next day, I knew what I had in my hand, and I was like, okay, I have to create a watch that does this movement right. Like
Yeah.
it can't just be in some like, fashion watch or whatever. And so that was the moment where I was like, okay, I'm gonna start stepping into this enthusiast space with this movement. I want to make the biggest splash I can
You
possible.
fucking did, bro.
And so
Yeah.
that's where things really started to change. And really it was also a moment for me to really unleash my entire, like, all my experience and like, okay, now I can create a watch where the customer who's wearing it will understand every little thing that I'm putting into it. So that's why we went crazy. So
Went on a rampage.
Logo change and everything.
logo change.
The logo change was slick.
Yeah,
I
the Lone
very much
Star.
like the Lone Star compared to just the text.
Yeah, and honestly, it's really interesting because the timing was right. Like, I honestly from day one I wanted the Lone Star.
Mhm.
However, I knew that we're brand new, so you needed the name on the dial to like
So get
so people can
recognized,
read it,
right?
and then one day we're able to switch it.
Bang.
And then so again, this was like the perfect time to do that. And so
Awesome.
yeah.
What other kind of plans or ideas that
Mhm.
are you excited about
For the brand, right?
Jack Mason?
Now that we've kind of captured the attention of a lot of enthusiasts and the fact that we've been around for a while, I feel like we've I don't know if the right word is like we've earned the right to
You earned your stripes.
to like really get after it. And so I'm really excited about our products coming down the pipeline. I mean, we'll continue to iterate on the Stratotimer GMT.
Maybe do like a resonance tourbillon.
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah, no
For you
problem.
guys that didn't know, before the show we were talking, it said platinum bracelet, platinum case,
Yeah.
micro rotor.
Meteorite dial.
So
Fuse chain.
precious metals is like something that I really want to do.
Dude, that's some baller shit.
Well, so like, and the reason is because, dude, we're in Texas,
Texas Timex, right?
and like Texans, if they're obviously, there's a lot of affluent people here, oil and gas nation.
Yeah.
And a lot of our customers are very, very proud, like Texans. And
Yeah,
so like,
fuck
if
yeah.
we have, a very, very limited amount of like solid white gold or something, I feel like we can. I honestly feel like we can
I
sell
think
them.
you can,
Yeah, yeah.
especially yeah, you're right. With like the heritage of Texas being such a strong driver, oh, you'd fucking do it. No
Yeah,
problem.
I mean I'm really excited about that part. I'm excited to really start leaning into the Texas roots. And my short to midterm goal is really dominate Texas, like bring awareness to Texas watch
Like
brands.
a BDSM type of thing, right?
Peter does Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peter does Dallas.
Yeah.
Peter does Dallas. I like that.
Honestly, my aspirations, and I've told this to Mike France himself and Christopher Ward, when we've chatted a few times at Wind Up and stuff, and I said, and it was a compliment to him, really. I said, I want to be the Christopher Ward of the U.S.
That's some big shoes.
That's
to
big
step
shoes,
into.
Yeah.
dog.
Oh yeah. And
European
so,
ass size shoes.
and so yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where at least my sort of aspirations are, and the benchmark that I'm gonna like,
It's fantastic.
and so, because like, I mean, there's no one really claiming that right now
No,
from an American watch standpoint.
I agree. And like the whole so I'm a very proud Texan, like super.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like the fucking thing that you guys are doing,
Mhm.
capitalizing on it, which is weird because you would think that at least a brand from Texas would have done it already.
Yeah.
Not one.
No, not
Weird,
one.
right?
It is weird. It's to be honest with you, I don't know if I can't speak for them obviously, but like when we first launched Jack Mason, it wasn't about like screaming Texas. I mean, we've always had the Lone Star on our crown from day one.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't, even our marketing and branding wasn't about, hey, we're from Texas, you know, yada, yada, yada.
Sure.
Just because there's like, you know, I mean, it's like the political environment, all that stuff. I don't have to bring all that into it, but like, but now it's like, no, you know what? We need to take ownership in this. And
Yeah, it's okay to be proud.
Texas there's no other state that's as proud of their own state as Texas.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even come close. And I've lived all
6
over
states.
the place.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What'd you do? A background check on me?
Jay's like has a license as a private eye. He knows every home address of your last 6 states.
He's like,
Holy shit. Yeah.
So with like the whole Texas thing, I promise you'd have earned a good amount of fans, like just by being a proud Texan.
Mm-hmm.
Cause dude, that's a boat out. Dude, I would throw hands for Whataburger and HEB.
Everyone loves those two, and Buc-ee's.
And Buc-ee's, dog. Any
Can't
slander,
forget the Buc-ee's.
throwing hands.
So, anything you would like to ask us before we move on to the next section?
Yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna start
Throw it,
talking
because
more
we
about
asked you about your brand.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Well, so watch Cringe. So without knowing all the details, I didn't do background checks on you guys like you did.
That's good. That's good for us.
That's good for us.
But I will say from what I know, I do think it's really cool. Like, I don't know how I mean, you have a specific audience, but like the general watch industry, I don't know how they receive you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But
Probably not so well.
Well, I think that's what's cool. I think that's what's cool. Like,
so
you make the hobby less serious than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's
what we're called is like the guilty pleasure of the industry.
Yeah.
So it's funny because we're very crass as far as like our show goes. It's because we're not taking any money from anyone. Like, this is all legit, still a pure passion hobby.
Yeah.
Passion project. And what we've been told by a good amount of people who are in the industry is that they all listen.
Yeah.
But they listen because they share the sentiment that we're able to say that they cannot.
Yeah.
And because we don't care if we hurt feelings, you know?
Sure.
And that's like, that's I think what has been branded of us. But it's been a lot of good fun. And it's cool because like you wouldn't, honestly, when we started, we didn't think we would get guests like y'all, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but we've had a constant slew. Like, we've had RT, we've had John, we've had Banu.
Like half of Wind Up.
Half of fucking Wind Up.
Gonna be half of Wind Up at some point.
Yeah, like the editor-in-chief of Revolution.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's awesome.
It honestly blows up my mind that we're able to, and it's because they're regular people. It's because they're not able to, they don't have to put on like a mask, you know, and like talk super polite and shit.
And I think our next target is the indies.
That's right.
Let's get some indie watchmakers up.
That's right. That's the goal.
Bring them down in the mud with us.
You know,
like
Revolution actually is. I feel like that's totally your guys' vibe too, because I remember
Ray,
even from back in the day, like Revolution was always. I remember their magazines were a little more risky, like risque. And like it was so different than what everybody else was doing.
Yeah. They definitely have our vibe because there was a video they posted on their IG account. They flew out all these indies like FP and all these people, and it was on a Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
And there was like a video, and they're all
Dude, it was so good.
I was like, that's us.
That's us.
Man.
So like, yeah, next year we'll probably be at Dubai.
Yeah. On
fucking harassing them, dude.
Flying Spirit though.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool. I don't know if Spirit flies international, dude. I don't think so. So let's go and move on. So let's talk about Peter, right?
Yeah.
The man behind the brand. Go ahead,
So
Brent.
you've lived in 6 states, my associate has mentioned earlier. And one of them happens to be New Jersey, the armpit of America.
It is.
What do you like or not like about New Jersey?
Well, it was never by choice. It was because
it was like a encampment.
That's where New Jersey was where I was introduced to the world of watches because I worked at.
You know, that's still the phone number he holds.
It is 201.
And what's the other 7 digits?
I gotta change that.
I can tell you, but that's for after the show.
555. Yeah, New Jersey, because after school, in New York City, my first job
Parsons,
was
right?
Parsons, and I
He knows your
studied
GPA too.
studied industrial design, and I got my first job at Movado. I knew nothing about watches.
I actually have a code from you here.
Yeah,
So.
I didn't know, but I went there and I took the job, and my mind was like blown. I was like, all right, this is
At Movado.
I was just the idea of watches,
Of watches,
the
right?
watches.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know that this was like
Like a
a thing
thing.
that can be like designed and down to the detail that it has to be designed in.
Did you ever rub shoulders with John Farrar from Brew? Because he worked
Because
at
he worked at
Movado for
Movado.
6 months.
So I think it was after my time there.
But did you hear like legends of him? Like he was such a bad
No.
boy. He was a cool.
No,
cool
so
dude,
I
breaking
don't
the
I don't
law.
know John. Like I briefly, I mean, we didn't really talk too much about his Movado days. I it was, I think, because I left in 2010.
Yeah.
Uh,
After you made Bold. Right?
after I did this guy.
He knows everything about
Killing
you.
me.
Dude, because
Yeah.
Movado Bold was cool, right?
At Movado Bold, I
it
launched
was
Movado
the
Bold. Yeah.
introduction of affordable Movado.
It was Movado Bold was it was a cool project. They were like, hey, we want to build a new brand targeted towards a younger demographic and affordable, like under $500.
And you started
Make it.
started in the watch world in 2006.
2006.
Correct.
So you've had a lot of experience. What's something that's fascinating that maybe a lot of people don't know about the industry that you want to share, or that you could share?
I think what's fascinating is the amount of people and hands that touch the watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the amount of people and hands that touch the watch.
Is that, you mean like in a design standpoint or just from
Everything.
everything?
Yeah, just everything. I mean,
Oh, shit.
obviously in a company as large as Movado, there are a lot of people involved when it comes to design decision making, product development, and things like that. It would be great. It does require a lot of like a product development person, someone who's literally communicating with the factories, right? On a daily basis. I mean, I do that myself right now, but it is a full-time job. Being able to manage all the supply chain, making sure, hey, what is the status of this? If you get a sample, for example, and there are some changes that need to be made, you need to make sure you stay on top of all the different like edits that you wanted to make to it, and make sure that the communication is very clear and you're constantly following up. Because I mean, think about it. I mean, the amount of any one supplier, the amount of projects they have going on at one time, there's nobody, unless you're like some massive company.
Unless you're Rolex, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna get the attention that you need. And so but yeah, the amount of hands, like I said,
That's
the component suppliers. I mean, I don't know how public this information is, but like in terms of a single watch, there's the amount of factories there are that make every single component. It's all separate. It's also crystals, one factory, hands, another factory, case, another factory. I mean, and they all have to come together, which is like actually kind of crazy to think about, that these parts come from a bunch of different places and they somehow all fit together perfectly.
That's
so
tight.
Just making that is like kind of mind blowing if you really kind of think about it. You're like, it's just a bunch of people from different places in different locations, literally on different machines.
But then
they all have to come
one.
together. Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy.
So let me hit you with a left field question, right?
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Any superpower would be what do you call it? Teleporting.
Oh,
that's a good
why
one.
though? Why? Mine is for nefarious.
Because I think the actual time it takes to travel is a complete waste of time. Because nobody actually, like,
Do you really
Un-
enjoy flying for
Unless
7
you're
hours?
sitting in
Crammed in
first
a- yeah.
class or whatever.
Even then, right?
But even then, you're
You're
sitting
still
in
stuck on a plane.
you're stuck in a plane and you have no control over anything. It's just like
Yeah.
you get there when you get there, right?
That's a good one.
I like
Actually,
that.
that's like an actual practical answer. Well, how about you?
Me, falling downstairs without getting hurt.
Oh, that's
Because then I could
That's
just
really
make
powerful.
people laugh all the time. Be like, hey, push me down.
that's
Yeah.
dude. That's like a circus trick.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Mine would be being really rich.
Okay.
That's the superpower
That's
I want.
actually an
How is that a
awesome power.
superpower?
Have you seen Iron Man or Batman?
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
So you want to be Tony Stark?
I just want to be rich.
That is powerful. You run the world.
Yeah,
with
that's
money.
right.
So like if it's a superpower, what's the part that's so like?
What's so super about it?
Well, I guess if you can just spend every single penny you own, and then the next day you're like, boom.
I would make.
So you want to be the
dude,
Federal Reserve? You just
I want to
print
be
money
Jay Powell.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to be Jay Powell. I want to print money, baby.
Yeah. People are just. You're like their god.
You are the Federal Reserve.
So,
that's the,
so let's get back to Watch a little bit. So you worked at Movado.
Yeah.
You've joined Fossil.
Yeah.
Do you still keep in touch with anyone from those times?
I still keep in touch with some folks from Fossil mainly because that was like more recent-ish.
It was homies or what?
Yeah, no, honestly, Fossil was it holds a special place in my heart because I moved to Texas when I was like 25 years old.
The Dallas office, dude.
Yeah. Have you been there?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay.
That's near Garland. It's like 5 minutes from Garland.
It's it's in Richardson.
Richardson, that's correct.
But that office is insane. I
Yeah.
mean, there's like they have their own Starbucks in there,
Yeah.
their own gym. Like
So we were supposed to go there, but Mike, I know you're fucking listening. You were supposed to bring the group there, bro.
What the hell, dude? What the hell, dude?
Yeah, what's going on, Mike?
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
I got like 18 Zodiacs.
Actually, so the group did end up. So we had an event with Mike. The group bought like 8, 10 Zodiacs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's crazy about Zodiac is like during my time at Fossil, so Fossil had their own employee store like in the building, and you just get like some stupid, insane discounts. This Zodiac, do you remember the time when Zodiac was making these like crazy, like large geometric?
Yes,
the
I do.
ZMX series.
I do.
My fiance wants one of those.
Dude, it create like
He's like, "Can you get this pink one for me?" I was like,
it was insane the stuff they were doing. I honestly like from a engineering and like just manufacturing standpoint, they were really cool, and we would get them for like $50
Peanuts. What the fuck?
Yeah, and I'll
Mike.
buy all of them up. They probably still have.
I
in
need
the
you to
archives.
go to that store. I'm a Venmo you. And it's funny because like Fossil, right? And like, so you keep in touch with some of them.
Yeah, I do.
Because of that.
Yeah, I do.
So,
Ryan White.
oh, Ryan.
Yeah, I know Ryan.
He's
very
still
well.
there.
He's still there.
He is
he's
Fossil Defender.
He's yeah, exactly. He's the design
He's a designer.
product
So
guy.
the Fossil Defender was like actually one of my first watches I bought when I think I was like 17.
Oh, really?
So I saved up $150 for that fucking
Oh,
thing.
nice.
And I was like,
Nice. Yeah.
I'm an adult. And then I lost it. Or it's lost it somewhere in my house. I think my kid even has it. So when you were in design, I enjoyed Skagen. So like
yeah.
Skagen, I love how thin
Very
they were. I was
thin.
telling Brent,
Yeah.
I was like, I love how thin they were. And to me, it was like the height of like
yeah.
of class. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I had that shit, dude. I had
Yeah.
that shit on, and like, I would like always like look at my wrist, and I'm like, I don't even do that now.
Yeah.
But Skagen was cool. So how involved were you in that design? And do you
Yeah,
still have
so
some?
So Skagen was acquired by Fossil back in 2019, I think it was 2019, and yeah, straight up bought, and they bought them to do a full like rebrand and all this stuff. Honestly, it was really cool. They put together extremely talented team, like the best product developer, just marketing team, visuals, all that stuff. I mean, when it comes to Scandinavian design language, I mean, you can only imagine how clean the aesthetic was. But anyway, they recruited me to be the senior designer
That's right.
for that rebrand. And so that's when I joined. I hopped around several different brands there, like Michelle. That's why I went to Fuss, was for Michelle. I took part of several different brand launches, like the Tory Burch line.
That's right. I remember.
Yep, Tory Burch, Karl Lagerfeld. I mean, just all these random things. And then because of my experience, and that was my initial, or that was always my sort of purpose, was I wanted to get as much experience as possible, because I knew early on this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so that's why I joined Michelle, because it's like I wanted to learn about women's watches, women's brand, you know, that kind of thing. And so and then I joined Skagen, and that was a super cool.
Do you still have any?
I do still have some Skagens. Yeah,
That's cool.
they're really cool.
Can I have some?
Yeah.
Begging over here.
Yeah.
Welcome to Watch Cringe, baby.
Where we beg for watches.
We need it.
You see where I live, dude?
Yeah.
We need
Yo,
like
did
10
you-
of those.
So actually, when you were driving here, did you see all the loose dogs walking around?
I did see it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, there was like I passed by like
Dude, some of them
four.
are scary, man.
Oh, dude, one
Some
of them
are
I was like,
pit
God, are you
bulls.
gonna open my car door, dude?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brent.
Well, so I was just wondering how much at Parsons, like the knowledge that you gained at Parsons and the skill set, how much of that like was applicable to all these different brands that you were jumping around with?
Yeah, I think so Parsons is one of the top
It's a top design
school. Honestly, the majority of their popularity and fame comes from their fashion program. And
design.
Fashion design program. But I mean, you know, the product design department was good. But I would say, just like generally speaking, it's only as good as like your investment in it, you know. And so like I definitely took some of those classes very seriously, in terms of like just illustration and like the way you think in 3 dimensions, you know, and like and that you know, when it comes to that, like 3 dimensions meaning like, you know, like actual dimensions.
Yeah.
Like
How parts come together.
So I have a little trade for you.
Yeah.
If you draw us a new logo,
Yeah.
I will come up with a new jingle for your brand. And actually, do you want to hear the jingle?
All right.
Oh shit! You actually have a jingle?
I got 2 spoons here, and this is called a little jingle. Jack Mason, Jack Mason, and then you got a guy on like a electric saw and like a banjo, and it's like real old timey and stuff.
Real hillbilly.
Yeah. What do you think? Well, all right. So now, why don't you come up with a design for us for a Watch Cringe design?
I don't know if I can come up with something as nice
Elegant,
as that,
yeah,
man.
elegant.
But I'll try my best. Yeah,
Money's worth.
we can do that.
So
We can do
when
that.
you-
I think that's a fair trade.
So it seems like you were studying a lot at Parsons, right? Like you seem like a studious person. What was the craziest shit you've seen in there, though?
Yeah.
I've seen injuries.
Injuries?
Because okay, so the way it works is every freshman, no matter what department you go in, whether it's fashion or graphic design or architecture or product, you take a foundation year, and then that foundation year is like everyone takes the same exact classes. Well, I obviously chose product design, and we have to also do, whether you're gonna do there's 2 main programs. So there's like what they call, I think they called it like mass market, which was like actual products, and then the other was furniture. And so they had a very elaborate like wood shop, stuff like that.
What
Dude,
the
table saws, everything, every tool you can imagine. And so there were a lot of not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot. There are some interest. Obviously people like chop their finger.
No shit.
Yeah, like on the table. So I mean, these are kids. I mean, think about it, right? You're back in
Oh, that's true.
college,
You're
you're
like
18 years old or whatever. You're like a baby. I mean,
Yeah.
at the time you think you're like
Yeah.
the shit, right? But like, yeah. And so injuries, but
Wow.
yeah. So that's very
Are those prosthetic fingers that you
No.
have?
You know what's really funny about that? I have like abnormally large hands.
Yeah.
And so that's
Look
like
at this fucking guy bragging,
Fucking
dude.
no, dude.
braggadocious.
It's just funny because you say prosthetic because all my closest friends and my girlfriend actually they always tease me about.
See, that
like,
was
how
another question
fat-
I was gonna ask you, is if you were single or not. I have some friends who met you at New York actually, and they were like,
Oh.
he's fucking hot.
Yeah, you'll meet some of them tonight. His name's Josh.
I wasn't referring to Josh. This one's a woman, actually. Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. And I was like, I don't know. Let me ask.
Whoa.
There you go,
Sorry,
host.
off limits.
Taken.
Off limits.
Taken. So let me hit you with one.
Let's go.
Okay.
In a 2019 interview, you were asked how you were introduced to watch design, and you answered that you thought you'd be designing CDs and flip cell phones. So, do you still dream of doing that? And can you either describe to us or draw what a CD player is in 2023?
Oh man, yeah. I can't imagine doing that now because they don't exist. But yeah, I can draw a CD player.
Yeah, let's do this because actually, so we had this plan.
All right.
Bang. There you go.
Player in 2023.
Yeah, like a 2023 CD player. Dude, this is quick draw right here.
All right, let's go.
Quick draw.
Holy
quick draw.
shit.
Let's go.
He's drawing some crazy stuff right now. There's a line. There's a line. Third. So for people that are listening to this, we do have a YouTube, but I will explain what he has a 3-dimension rectangle that looks like it's moving really fast. Actually, he's got like
Dude, he did that
lines.
in 10 seconds.
This is amazing. Rounded corners.
Oh, yeah, for safety,
Yeah,
right?
I think
So
the
you don't
rounded
cut
corners.
yourself. This is for the generation that eats Tide Pods.
Whoa. Oh, that's the insertion hole.
How about
A three
Three
CDs?
CDs?
Do you guys remember that in the cars?
Yeah.
Like the
CD
the
changers.
6 CD
Yeah.
changer.
I love that stuff. That was the best.
My wife's car, when I met her, had the 8 CD, and I was like, no way.
No, rich.
Does it work? And it does.
And
Oh,
those typically didn't skip.
they did not.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be.
Is it anti-skip?
Anti-skip.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, that actually looks so good.
I would buy that because it looks retro now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's
It's all touch.
it's all touch.
It's-
Yeah, it's all touch, man. It's about minimalism. That.
Is this gonna have Bluetooth?
What we do.
Bluetooth connection to the headphones, dude?
That's right.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, dude,
a
Sennheiser.
CD player with Bluetooth.
Do you think it's possible to have lossless audio through that? No, right? Because it's wireless.
Do a volume.
Holy shit.
Oh,
How
I
about
like that. I like that.
But you know what? Let's make this harken back to we did like
I do.
Oh, I love those.
why don't
Yeah.
we do like
Yeah.
It clips on, dude.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's on a
Oh my god, that's
Hell
tight.
yeah.
put another attachment side a little.
Oh, I like that.
Holy dude, that's almost as big as a Panerai.
Oh man, let's
Ooh, I like
Why
that.
is this so good? This has no business of being. Guys, if you were fucking wondering, this guy is a designer for real.
Yeah.
so like
Holy shit. Dude. Okay, dude. Artistic people
Yeah.
blow my mind still.
This is great.
To this day. Find me another show where they will ask their guests to draw a product.
Oh, I
That's
All
a
right.
3. There we go.
that's actually pretty sick.
That's so cool. Take a photo of that.
Dude,
That's,
he just whipped that out in 30 seconds.
Yep.
that's nuts. Actually.
That's really
Guys,
cool.
that I mean, you'll see our reaction. We have the fucking video. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is nuts.
That's nuts.
I think we got to end it on that. That's
I
pretty
think
badass.
so.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, I do have a question. So, you
Okay.
want to ask one, and then I'll ask one.
Okay, 2 last questions.
Okay.
You want me to go
So,
first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, who was the better designer, Colin Curry or Fox Omer?
Oh my God. How do you? I don't even know where you. Honestly, I don't even know how to find this information. All right.
So
okay.
let's hear it.
So those two guys. So
Who
Colin,
are they first? Yeah.
Yeah. Colin and Fox were designers at the company. This is when we were really, you know,
this is like infancy.
I mean, we were like pumping out watches
Uh-huh.
because we had to, because of the business model, right? And so Colin was a talented designer who's now back at Fossil, actually working with
Really?
with Ryan.
I did not know that. That's
yeah,
cool.
he's very actually. You know the in New York the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that
launch
was
or whatever?
his?
That was like his baby. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Can you tell him to fucking get me the sketch one? I
Mickey-
could not find that.
Yeah,
for fuck.
that was his thing.
You're always asking for freebies.
Hey, I'll give you $200 for this one. Retail $4.99.
Fox was a guy who
It's 2 X's, by the way.
yeah, it is 2X.
The fuck?
Yeah, it is. I know, right? He was an intern. I found him as an intern he also went to a design school in Cincinnati and hired him. And this guy had an eye for design and just like, there's some people just can like
You could
pick
tell,
things
yeah.
up like just fast. And like, I immediately I was like, okay, this guy's insane ability. He actually, so one of our old watches back in the day, which we actually kickstarted, was a regatta timer watch. He designed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as an intern, he designed it, and I was like, okay, I was just super impressed with this. But I think he just had this. Some people are just born with it, like just have it, like that it factor of
So
natural
where's
ability.
Fox now?
Fox is back home in Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
He was always a skateboarder.
Yeah.
That was his thing.
He looks, actually his photo is him holding a skateboard.
Skateboarding, like that was his thing. Huge skateboarder. I believe he's doing something in that space right
That's
now.
badass.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hold him near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, because you guys were the trio.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. You know everything about them.
A little bit.
My last question is, you said Thanksgiving is your favorite time of the year. Is that still true?
In the
It is.
2019
I will say this. Thanksgiving is, it's not that Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. It's the period between Thanksgiving and
Christmas.
Oh,
Christmas.
yeah. The holiday
That's
cheer.
powerful.
Yeah.
The
festive.
Festivus.
Festivus.
Yeah.
Festivus.
But yeah, I'm excited for something. But I will say that the food is just.
I just had a Thanksgiving lunch today at work. It was awesome.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you contribute?
No, they had it catered for us.
From where?
I don't even know, but it was like turkey,
Boston
ma-
Market.
Boston Market.
yeah, it was like Boston Market. I have no idea. It was good.
Do you
Hey,
guys
man.
have Diwali?
That's tomorrow. I
Tomorrow,
think. Yeah.
yeah.
No, we don't celebrate that.
No shade on Boston Market, man.
I love Boston Market,
Yeah.
for the record.
those sides.
So, are you Korean?
Yeah.
Okay, so my wife is Korean, and
Oh, really?
so yeah,
Oh.
she's Korean Vietnamese.
Oh, okay.
So whenever Thanksgiving rolls up, you would think that like turkey, right?
Oh.
She makes ham, and then she makes like Korean food,
Yeah.
like galbi
Oh, yeah.
and like kimbap.
Yeah,
It's like you've
It's
had
a-
it I
for
gave you
sure.
some.
it's good.
I mean, I think with like for Asian families especially, I mean, you cannot can't celebrate an American holiday
You gotta have some Asian.
and have
Always.
only American
Yeah,
food.
you gotta get something. in
There's
there.
something wrong with that.
There's like
Yeah.
ham, and then the rest is just Asian food.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
So, question: do you still think Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the guy that would play you in a movie?
Oh my God, where do you keep finding this information? Joseph Gordon-Levitt is.
I mean, y'all both.
I
know.
liked him in Looper.
He was good in
That
Looper.
movie was
I liked
awesome.
him in Batman.
I like him in
too.
Batman too. Yeah,
I liked him in Batman. But if we were to pick like a
Inception too.
muse,
yeah.
if we were to pick a muse
Uh-huh.
for Jack Mason, I
Dude,
have two guys.
All right, let's hear it.
All right,
Ron Jeremy.
one is it's Ryan Reynolds,
Oh,
Okay.
I like that.
right?
Yeah.
And then the other, who I would really love to, is John Krasinski.
Oh, you can't. That's Vortex.
already-
boy
I
Vortex
now.
know,
Boy.
right?
He
There's like
already
the
owns him.
irony there. I was like, what?
He already owns him.
Yeah, that's RT's boy
Like,
already.
he's like the perfect. I mean,
Dude,
that
I think
guy-
Joseph Gordon-Levitt would
it'd be cool,
be
man.
cool.
It'd be cool.
in 500 Days of Summer.
Mm.
You know, I mean, that's something that I want to get, like, try to do with Jack Mason is like find some sort of ambassador, right?
Uh-huh.
But you know, that stuff is A, it's expensive, but B, like just finding the right person, because they all got they all got shit
They
going
all got
on.
their shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's fucking
Well,
awesome. Well, thanks,
That's been
dude.
it, and thank you so
Hey.
much.
Hold on. Do you have an ASMR?
I do. It's spoons again.
Let's hear it.
yeah.